What is going on, my everythings? It is your girl Janiqua A, and I am back with another reading for you guys. If no one told you guys today, I love you, and I know all your dreams and aspirations matter because they do. So let's tap right on in. I'm loving this deck, so I'll probably be using this for a little while. So let's get into your energy and see what you guys need to know. Archangel Michael and the Lake Boss, please protect me, protect my mind, my body, and my spirit. We're gonna clear all my chakras as you tap in. Hold on, y'all. To the most important messages that surrounds y'all energy. Ooh. All right. We got clickbait and we got broken promises. All right. So misleading headlines, empty promises, exaggerated truths, not what it seems. So there is somebody that has been exaggerating things that they don't have. All right, they've been promising and exaggerating different things that they could give and those sort of things, and they can't. All right, this probably could be you guys. All right, so there was something that was clickbait. It seemed good. All right, it seemed good. It lured you in. That's clickbait. All right, something lured you in. All right, you've judged something on just the exterior. You didn't really give yourself time. You didn't really know enough. You didn't really know enough about something. Something was not what it seemed. It was exaggerated. All right, to lure things in. And for a lot of you guys, you may have felt like it was too good to be true. But again, clickbait, shocking. You won't believe this story. So this is about to be shocking. Whatever y'all going through, I'm hearing story time. Okay, I'm hearing story time. Y'all might have a real good story time. All right. I'm hearing storyteller. I'm hearing somebody could paint a good story. Okay, but I feel like you've ended up disappointed with expectations. I feel like this is you. I feel like the promises that you probably promised yourself by pursuing this, the promises that was promised to you, all right, your expectations when it came to some sort of exaggerated truth where it was like, oh my gosh, like I believe this. Disappointed expectations. All right, failed commitments, lost trust. This made you probably even tighten up on who you trust, what you trust. How fast are you gullible to believe something? Question everything. All right, words meant nothing. So words, all we got is our words, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like our truth and our loyalty behind our words and our promises, that's all we got. That don't even cost money. All right. And certain times money is attached to certain promises. All right. To lure people in clickbait. All right. So let's get another card out here. This is a contract that probably has been destroyed or ripped up. All right. No longer. This could have been a job too. You know how advertisement. All right. Thank you, Spirit. So this was an advertisement gone bad. All right. So this could have been a job or a relationship, either or. Now, relationships is broad. It could have been a romantic relationship, friendship, family relationships, and jobs. Anything advertised that looks good. All right. Looks like you want to invest into. That's how you get people. All right. You advertise, you market, and that's how you get whatever it is that you want. And you might have been called to back out of some sort of contract. All right, I see paper ripped up. All right, this may have caused heartbreak. This may have been a hard thing for you to do. All right, because there was so much expectations behind this. All right. There may have been other sacrifices also that went into play. Okay. And you now learned that you can't just go off of advertisement. You got to ask questions. All right. Because things leaning on your own understanding. All right. Things could be misleading. All right. You have to, be around people that you trust also, that you got to learn how to read energy well too, because having a strong discernment could bypass all of this clickbait and misleading headlines and empty promises and exaggerated truth. So this is just a lesson learned. All right. About false advertisement, contracts, jobs. All right. And then when you agree because of the advertisement, you start realizing it is taking more labor. All right. You start realizing that what you signed up for is not actually what's been advertised. All right. You don't get to see, you're not getting the perks. You're not getting what was claimed to be offered. All right. It's actually requiring more work, more effort. You losing. So, Spirit, give me more on this energy and what my everythings need to know. Hopeless romantic. Spirit, give me more on this energy. Cuffing season. Breadcrumbing. So somebody was looking for a place to stay. You hear me? When we talking about cuffing season, we talking about temporary relationships, seasonal, right? Seasonal. I'm hearing till December. With this December, all right. It's an expiration date here. All right. Short-term warmth. All right, until spring. Literally, somebody needed somewhere to stay. Somebody needed some warmth. Somebody needed some shelter. Somebody needed some love through a time of needing something. It's like it's greed. It's like somebody is a hopeless romantic here. All right, meaning believing, not closed off to a fairy tale ending. All right, constantly, in a daydream of, what could really happen. All right, in love, not really taking your past hurts and pain along with, just open to love no matter, what goes on. And sometimes people take advantage of that. All right, especially when it comes to, just needing some sort of warmth or having an expiration date or, just short term. It says temporary relationships. I'm getting to be called look at the word temporary. Then I'm being called to look at the word seasonal. Then I'm being called to look at the word short term or until spring. That's not security. That's not plans. That's like just needing. And that's cool. Cuffing season, broken promises. That's somebody trying to promise you something through a season of whatever that they going through and don't even have the expectations to give you what you deserve, breadcrumbing. So that's why it's aiming to more of them needing something from you, rather it be genuine. All right, and then if you are, hold on, come on. If you are gonna need temporary or seasonal companionship or short-term warmth until spring, then at least pay or at least give the emotional or whatever that keeps a relationship feeling promise, not broken promises, not misleading, not exaggerated truths. All right, just trying to exaggerate the love or the relationship just because of a season. I'm hearing it's going to be a cold winter. But breadcrumbing, giving minimal attention, keeping options open, vague promises, never committing fully. All right, so Somebody didn't really want to cuff you or be in a real relationship with you or love you because it was genuine. All right. They had all intentions of breadcrumbing you to get what they needed for that season. All right. To rob you of your warmth. All right. And your compassion until spring. All right. It's something about until spring where you may have interrupted the plan because you were keeping your promise. All right. You were keeping your promise, but they had no expectations of keeping theirs. And it may have been too late if you would have never ripped up or tore up, whether it was just got out of your feelings. Okay? Somebody took this hopeless romantic or just being, just being open to just love no matter what. They took that for granted. All right? But what they didn't know is that you were going to be aware, all right, of the disappointment expectations and not just sit in that energy. All right? You were going to be aware of the failed commitments and you've lost trust. You honored those emotions. All right. The words that you guys communicated towards one another. All right. Probably through this marketing or whatever that came about. It meant nothing after you finding out something. All right. So it won't be cuffing season for y'all or for whoever this person that thought that they was just going to stay with you until spring. All right, and breadcrumb you that whole time, lead you on. You see how they just giving you enough just to string you on until spring? You hear me? Because when springtime come, that's when everything starts shining. You feel good, but everybody need a little shelter. Everybody go in hibernation mode. Everybody with family and around love that went through winter. Okay, so somebody plans on advertising to you whatever that they probably knew you needed or wanted, all right, and exaggerated their promises and what they could actually do. You found out, all right, however you did, all right, and you honored that truth. You ripped up or you separated yourself, destroyed whatever commitment, okay, and they planned on breadcrumbing you the whole entire time up until that spring date, up until whatever plan or date that they had. All right. They was just giving you enough. And somebody may have even felt like you needed the crumbs. All right. So this could have been a situation where, you only breadcrumb people when people need you. You only give them just enough for them to need you again. That is an ulterior motive. That is a intention you have. That is greed. Look at these little pieces. They were just giving you little crumbs so they could stay comfy and warm because you've been keeping your promises, giving them whatever warmth that they get in cuffing season. Look, you got the stars, you got shelter, you got love, you got connection, two people coming together in unity. That's warmth, that's love, that's comfort, that's safety, that's protection. All right? That was not genuine. They was just getting what you promised and was not even intention. They didn't even have no intentions. And this was going to take you by surprise. I don't know if things would have went further. All right. I don't know if you would have gotten to deeper with building with this person. And then the time comes until spring when I guess things probably you thought would have been really, really in motion. And then you would have been breadcrumb. You would have been literally played. You would have literally lost. If I feel like this is y'all waking up before springtime, all right, and realizing what was going on. This is story time. You hear me? This is a good story. All right, so that plan didn't work, y'all. All right, Spirit, give me more on this energy and what my everythings need to know. Situational single. What is that? Temporary loneliness, choosing solitude, waiting for better, not settling. Exactly. All right. That's a hopeless romantic, but that's somebody that is not settling. All right. Literally, this is somebody that was aware of the red flag. All right. And situational single means that's only but a time, baby. All right, that's just for your current situation. That's because you choose to be single. All right, or you choose to be alone because this behavior. Okay, so that destroyed the enemy's plan. All right, whatever plan they had to cuff you or to receive any type of warmth or temporary shelter, seasonal up until spring, all right, and breadcrumb you all the way until it was time for you to receive, all right, and just string you along or give you just bits and pieces of what was needed so that way you could keep needing them and them in control. All of that stops, and this is the rude awakening. All right, and if you haven't done this, this will be the reader to let you know that this is confirming everything you are being guided to do, because I know this is not just telling you for the first time that somebody was planning on temporarily using you for whatever you had and up until spring, and they was going to leave you high and dry, and it was not having no intentions on keeping the end of their promise. All right, so this was a negotiation. This was an agreement. Somebody did not have no plan on keeping their end of the agreement. I don't care how much they lied and said. They planned on breadcrumbing you. You hear me? So we don't have no control over people's intentions, but we have all control over when we are aware of that. When God makes it aware, when we start seeing things, all right, that's when we need to touch base on it. All right, unless you would just be used. All right, because they was going to profit somehow big, and they was stringing off of you just being in this fairy tale la la land. That's what they thought. Okay, so and this was a toxic love, unfortunately. All right. It was filled with pain disguised as passion. You know how when somebody argue with you, or somebody just so controlling, or when somebody is just so much on you, and you think that, oh, just because they love me. No, that's not healthy. All right, that's disguised as passion, but that's true pain. That's causing you pain. All right, addictive patterns, harmful attachments, can't live without you. That's not healthy. You want your partner, you want your friends, you want your family to be able to live without you and have your own life and still be there for you, and y'all connect and they go out on their own life, but not using people. All right, that's toxic. That's codependency. That's you staying in a situation because you feel obligated, because you feel bad. All right, because you are aware of this. All right, so this is confirming that was nothing but toxicity, and you are about to interrupt this plan on breadcrumbing you and cuffing you for a season, all right, when you deserve long term, because you've been a hopeless romantic. You did not block out love, okay? You done stopped it, or you will, okay? And that's not even going to give nobody no room to even come up with another plan to deceive you. They're going to have to move around. All right, up until spring. They can't come to you. They can't be up at your house. Okay, so I love you guys, and I hope that helped.